And so I felt like in approaching Carlos with this show, Punk Rock Bedroom, I wanted
Mm.
to kind of recreate a punk rock bedroom, uh,
Okay.
kind of like when I grew up, like and like my friends had, where you just had all their flyers packed, tacked up on their walls and posters
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
stereos and your Star Wars bed sheets and all that sort of stuff
Hmm.
and your
Hmm.
guitar that you're learning to try to play, um, records,
So
clothes.
the punk rock scene was really important to you when you
It
were
was
growing up.
totally important to me.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I had my friend in elementary school, like sixth grade. He went to California before we started middle school in seventh grade, and or called junior high school, whatever.
Right.
And he came back with some cassette tapes, and he says his cousin made for him. He goes, "It's punk rock," and I was like, "What's that?" Because I didn't even really know what I didn't really listen to rock. I listened to what
Hmm.
my parents kind of listened to.
Okay.
I think like in 78 or 78, I went out and bought like the Star Wars soundtrack with my own money. Then
It's
like
good music.
yeah, plus the counter Star Trek. I mean, John Williams made some awesome soundtracks for like a 8 or 9 year old and stuff. Some really kind of
Right.
But
adventurous
also,
music. What?
excuse me. Also, Bob plays, in punk rock bands, and
Oh, okay.
I've witnessed everything. I mean, from Cabron, Fekna, dope ass punk rock music. That was before I was in charge of Osalta.
Mm.
I knew they had a good relationship with in the to use the space for the music. I
Mm.
knew they had a good relationship because they always respected the art on the wall.
Hmm.
So I would at that time volunteer to go over and just like make sure the space is okay, make sure they lock the door. But they were, I mean, they were responsible, but the music was dope all the time.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So at that time though, I wasn't talking to Bob. You know what I mean? I was still, you know what I mean, getting in. I knew who they were. I knew who the guys were, and I mean, all the way up to if you want to talk about anything on the your members of your band, but I knew the guys, but at the same time, I wasn't still in charge of this of Volsog and stuff.
Right.
So skip through all that. Let's talk about the when he had the show at Vol, so you could see when he when he told me he was gonna do all that, I was like, all right, well, let's see. You know what I mean? Let's do it. And he did. He
Mm.
brought it all. He brought the whole vibe that he was just explaining. So when we talked about this show, it wasn't very hard to say, yeah, let's do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just he sent me all everything. I read it. I was just like, fuck, all right, fuck yeah, let's go. You know what I mean? At the same
Nice.
time, so it wasn't that hard to come, and let you guys know about what
Yeah. Yeah. For
Bob,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, so I started playing in bands after seeing my kind of like first big show was Black Flag in the
Wow.
spring, late winter of '83 when they rolled through town, and that just totally changed my life. It altered,
Wow.
like hell yeah, I'm gonna play music. I don't know how to play music, but I'm gonna pick up a
Figured it out
guitar
later.
and figure it out. Yeah, so that's kind of like always been kind of like my mindset is like I'm not that great of an artist, but I'm gonna figure it out and just make the art, make the music, whatever. And so when I landed here in San Diego, I started playing actually with this guy named Sam Lopez who runs Stay Strange San Diego.
Okay, I've heard of that.
Yeah, him and his wife Mandy had a band called Isinglass, and so I joined Isinglass, and that's how I met Mark, who was the drummer, and he played in tons of bands.
What
And
what
so
instrument do you play?
I play guitar.
Okay.
So after kind of Isinglass kind of did their thing. I wanted to kind of start a kind of throwback band, a punk band that kind of played tribute to a lot of the stuff like in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I started Cabron. And our late singer, Leo, who passed away about
Yeah.
6 months ago or
Mm.
so.
Rest in
Sorry to
Um,
peace.
hear.
Yeah.
yeah, it was a bummer. It was a shock. I learned about it when I was in Abu Dhabi at at like a party. I
Wow.
get a call from our bass player, and I'm like just devastated.
Wow.
So that was hard. I think Cabron, everyone in Cabron had their own kind of demons that we kind of
Mm.
dealt with, and I think it kind of came together in a lot in our music and stuff.
Mm.
Great band. Great band.
Yeah, so that's how we met. I mean, that's how I met Leo. I met him through Chicle, actually. Him and Chicle were kind of like best buddies.
Oh wow.
And he told me, "Hey, you gotta meet my, this guy Leo and stuff. Or I think you guys will get along well."
Hmm.
And he was right. Leo and I hit it off pretty well. And I said, "Dude, you're kind of, you're kind of crazy. You should sing in a band." He's like, "Oh." And stuff like, "Dude, you're intense. You're crazy. You need to sing in the band." And
Right.
so that's how I kind of like convinced him to play in the band. So that's how kind of Cabron came together. It came together, this guy Shane and Mark and Leo. And that's how we kind of started. And Leo decided at some point he was kind of tired of playing and stuff, but it was hard for me to let him go. I just kind of like, "Well, can you do part-time?" Sometimes you play
That was
what you
great.
want to play and stuff. Then we end up getting this rad guy named Rodney and stuff. So we played, a lot of later shows with Rodney, but Leo would
Mhm.
sometimes kind of like
Yeah.
join in and stuff. But
You played in San Diego mostly, or
yeah, we played mostly in San Diego, maybe a
Mhm.
couple shows up in LA, like at the
Cool.
Smell and at the Doll Hut.
Oh, the Doll Hut.
Denver. Yeah, we actually played in Denver too, strangely enough. And it was without
Nice.
Leo and without Mark, actually. It was for my book release. I wrote a
Okay.
couple books on the history of Denver punk.
Wow.
Second one with my one long time friend, Sonny K.
The Creative Buzz podcast is sponsored by Thumbprint Gallery. Thumbprint Gallery was founded in 2009. We curate monthly and pop-up art exhibitions featuring emerging mid-career and established artists with a focus on contemporary pop culture, nostalgia, urban art, and pop surrealism. The gallery seeks to provide an eclectic and engaging atmosphere to view art by bringing people together in appreciation and support of local, national, and international artists.